Welcome to Nitpicking Nerds and another secret deck.
This time, secret deck. Black cards.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Hey, you want to talk to us daily? Check out the Discord. It's free. That's all I have to say about it. Secret deck time.
Yeah, so hopping in the secret deck. These are cards not on the top page for black cards on EDHREC. They're in 1% or less of decks on EDHREC. We just use that because they already compile the stats. We're not going to go compile stats when they're doing it for us.
We think these cards are underplayed, underrated, and undiscovered in some cases because if you look at the played numbers, there's like none for some of these.
So let's start with number one. Minions, Murmurs. Now, let's just be completely honest and give credit. I wish I remembered his name, but someone in the comments was like, this card's good. And I'm just like, that card exists?
I searched it and then I couldn't even find it. And then I put all the right filters on my app and I'm like, oh, exists. It's from Future Sight. It's 2 black for a sorcery. You draw a card and lose life for each creature you control. Random guy in the comments, you rule.
Yeah, this is really good for a go wide black tokens type deck. Probably weirdly fits in like Bantu, who wants to make a bunch of useless permanents.
Let me tell you, it doesn't only fit in 313 decks at 0%. It's 27 cents. It's an uncommon.
Yeah, this card's really good. I mean, it's a great way to draw if you're playing a creature-based black deck. And like you just don't see, if you're in green, obviously you don't need this card because this card just gets thrown out the window when you head into green. But if you're not in green,
white-black life gain?
Yeah, I mean, any go-wide strategy with black is going to be like, okay, this card's nice.
Yeah, Ambition's Cost. People play that card. I think that card's pretty bad. This is that card with the ceiling in the stratosphere.
Yeah, exactly. If you're playing Endrick Sar, this is insane in Endrick Sar.
Yeah, if you have a sack outlet, then there's not even a risk of, I can't draw 20, lose 20. Sometimes you can, first of all, but, you sack down to 10. All right, draw 10. Let's go.
I mean, I'll just take draw 5. Like, if this is draw 1, if this is like draw 4, it's already really good.
Yeah, draw 4 is like way above par, especially for black.
Yeah, once you hit draw 4, that's like where you want to be. It's like, okay, draw 4 is really, really strong. Like,
even in blue, I'm fine with that.
Like draw 3 for 4 is those cards exist.
It's like below par.
Yeah, but as soon as you hit that 4 mark, which this card easily can because it's just dependent on what your board is, chef's kiss.
We're starting with the best one, I think, the most secret tech, because totally give this a try. I think it will do great for you. It's going to appear in every Nitpicking Nerds deck tech that has creatures and is in black.
And not in green.
Yes.
That's an important distinction, too, because I'll pay 1 more mana to gain life and not lose.
Yeah, with like Shamanic Revolution.
Yeah, exactly. Next, we have a card that we talk about a lot in this channel, Awaken the Erstwhile. It is in 1,800 decks, 1,854 decks. It's only 1%. It's only 26 cents. It's a rare from, what's that was it from? Ravnica Allegiance?
Yeah, RNA.
It's from Ravnica Allegiance. And it is 3 black. Everybody discards their hands. They get zombies equal to the number of cards they discarded.
Yep, the zombies are going to trade off. We've had this card resolve. The zombies do not team up and kill you. That's not really how it works. You're taking advantage of the discard in half the time anyway. This card's pretty sweet. For only 5 mana and literally 1 cent less than Minions Murmurs.
I've never played in that blue-black deck, but I imagine a flashback type deck that can really take advantage of this would be like so stellar. Like if you like this card, what's the thing that can get a flash card out of your deck or an instant?
Oh, man, we just talked about it on
Forbidden
Tutors.
Alchemy?
No, Forbidden Alchemy has flashback, though. Mystical Teachings.
Mystical Teachings. Yeah, like Mystical Teaching. If you discard a Mystical Teachings and then you're able to flash it back, suddenly all of a sudden you've gone from a top deck war to I'm drawing one of my best cards now.
How about the Scarab God?
Oh, yes.
You get zombies, so you get the Scry and Drain, too.
Yeah.
And you can take all their stuff they discarded.
Yeah, Awaken the Erstwhile is... it might not be in a lot of decks, and maybe people don't play it because it's not fun, but it is so good.
Yeah, fun factor, kind of low, even though you do get some resources to play with the zombies. Good factor, high.
Very, very high. It's such a good card.
Yeah, next up is Ritual of the Machine. It's only in 188 decks, 0%er, and 687 for monies. 2 black sorcery, sacrifice a creature's additional cost, gain control of a creature for 4 mana, huh?
4 mana, gain control effect. You have to sacrifice a creature, but in the decks you're putting this in, you're never going to care about that. You're going to be sacrificing some sort of 1/1 and taking the best thing on the board. I really like when these effects are not enchantment based.
Yeah, it doesn't go away. You can take a commander.
Exactly, and that is so awesome. You just force, and like if you're not playing against another sack outlet deck, you can host somebody. I know decks like Zidrus, or is that Xyrus, the snake guy.
Yeah, the 3/3 snake.
Yeah, Xyrus rely on their commander so much. So if you take their commanders, you can just cripple them.
Why'd you go to that one? It's so random.
It's not as random as you think. Somebody's been messaging me on Discord asking me for help with this Xyrus deck.
Oh, sweet. Next up, Street Wraith. This is a classic. It's in 1,500 decks, 1%er. It's less than $2. This has a lot less text than it looks like. 3 black for a 3/4 with Swamp Walk, or you can cycle it and pay 2 life. That's all we're ever going to do. Your deck is now 99 cards.
This card is very good in the decks that want it. If you want to churn through your decks, if you're doing Doomsday Pile, this is a very, very good card for Doomsday.
Creature count, graveyard matters.
Yep, anything. Yeah, if you're catching living decks constantly, great card. You're putting a free creature in your graveyard. It doesn't matter that you're paying 2 life. We know this format has 40 life. It's such a resource, such a expendable resource too, because you have so much. So you literally just get to draw a card. It's like Gift Probe. It's like on the same.
It's on the same level.
Exactly, it's on the same level as Gift Probe, but like this one's only in 1,500 decks.
Yeah, it cycles, it triggers cycling, it triggers discarding, like Archfiend of Ifnir type stuff. It's free. If this was one pay 2 life, I don't think we'd even mention it. It'd just be like pretty good. It would be up there with every other cycling 1 card, right?
I just don't think. No, it absolutely 100% would not be mentioned.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like we're not mentioning all the cycling 1 cards like Memory Leak. Like, who cares? This is so much different. It's a creature. It's pay 2 life, no mana.
Okay, so number 5. We're gonna go over this one quickly because we've talked about it, but we wanted to put it in Secret Tech also because
Secret Tech.
It was in Budget Bomb.
Budget Bomb. Secret Tech.
But it's Mind Slash, and it's 1 black for an enchantment. You can pay 1. Sacrifice a creature, and you can take a card off an opponent's hand and make it discarded.
At sorcery speed.
Yes.
Yeah, we just wanted to double mention, not everybody watches all our videos, so if you're in for the Secret Tech and not the Budget Bombs, then you wouldn't know about this.
Exactly. Card is very strong. I love this so much more than I like Attrition.
Right. You get to coercion them, so it's not... You get their best card for 1 creature, so if you can hit each opponent, I would feel pretty good about that game.
You also have to think about this. Because there's a repeatable way to take cards of their hand, if you look at their hand and they have multiple cards you want, you can then retarget the same player. That's what I really like about this card.
Oh, they have a Rift. Well, I have to take that. But they also have Smothering Tithe. Well, I'll take that too. I have 4 creatures in play.
Exactly. You're going to play this in decks where you have like creatures that are super expendable, or you're going to have probably in the same deck you're going to see like Pawn and Vulamog, so the same creature is getting you 2 triggers.
Almost all of these cards can go in the same deck so far. We've got Minions, Murmurs, Ritual of the Machine, and Mind Slash all seem like they go in the same deck.
They all function together really well.
All right, next is the Black Scavenging Ooze, clickbait title, Tymaret, Chosen from Death, 1,300 X, 1%, 11 cents. Came out semi-recently, but this card is pretty good. It's black for a 2-star. Star is equal to your devotion to black, so it starts out as a 2/2. Pay 1 and a black. Exile 2 cards from graveyards if they were creatures, and if for every one of them that was creature, you gain a life.
If you care about hating on graveyards, especially in mono black, this card's really strong. If you care about both the body and the graveyard hate, that's when you really start going, okay, this card's really awesome. If you're anything playing Grey Merchant could potentially want this card because it's really good graveyard hate. It's just you don't see
repeatable graveyard hate. There's Weathered Wretch, but that's just a 2/2 for 2 that's pay 1, exile a card from a graveyard.
Yes, that was actually suggested to me when I was talking to people for cards. I'm like, I think that card really only fits in Zombie Tribal. I don't see any other home really for it.
This is so much of an upgrade. It's even an enchantment. Like that could just matter sometimes.
Oh,
just added card type to it.
Yeah, it's a free will. It also could hurt it sometimes. It will get wiped away when people kill your enchantment.
Its creatures are the most vulnerable. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, but this is more vulnerable than your average creature.
Only slightly. So negligibly that I'm not really concerned about it. But Tymaret, give it a shot if you're in colors that don't grave hate super well and you care about the pips.
All right, next we have this one. I know it just came out in Jumpstart. I think this card is a house. I think it is so strong that it is worth talking about for sure. It is Witch of the Moors. It's in 370 decks, 0%er, and it's $10. 3 black for a 4/4 with Death Touch. at the beginning of your end step, if you gained life this turn, that means you can get the first time this card comes out. It's super important about this card. Each opponent will sacrifice a creature, and you will get a creature from your graveyard back to your hand. This is such insanely strong card advantage.
Oh, works so well with Tymaret.
It works so. I think this card is just seriously very strong.
It's a 4-for-1 right away.
Right away, all you have to do is gain life. And this card belongs only in life gain decks, but there's more than 370 life gain decks that have the color black.
I mean, what if your commander reliably gains life? I don't know. Maybe it goes in more decks than that.
Like Arabo, or what's
Aloro?
Loro, yes.
You can't not have gained life that turn.
Exactly. So every time you play this card on turn 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whenever, you immediately get this effect, and the effect is so strong.
It doesn't even. This is the kind of, when I'm starting to stack cards like this in my deck, these are the decks you can throw Street Wraith in for free with little synergy, and you will still get advantage out of it. Oh, it's turn 5, a creature didn't die, but I cycled Street Wraith, get it back with my Witch of the Moors.
Oh, yeah. And then you could cycle again. This card, I mean, I think Witch of the Moors is, I know it's new, and I understand, yeah, maybe people just haven't gotten a chance to really find it, but
Just in case.
I'm telling you that if this is a hitting card at all, find it, put it in your life gain deck, you will not regret it.
No, this card is super sweet. It's the strongest, probably, because the secret tech tends to be not, game breaking or anything, but it's probably the strongest one here.
Oh, it's super strong. I'm just chef's kiss to the Witch of Moors. It's probably my favorite one on this list.
It's like a cooler life gain payoff than Archangel of Thune, if that's a good reference.
I think so. With this card, I've been looking into life gain as a deck, and I really want to play.
It's so hard.
I'm thinking the new Black White Angel coming out.
Okay.
And then you get to play things like Witch of the Moor, and then go
Street Wraith.
You get to put Heliod in that deck, and that'll be cool.
All right.
It looks sweet.
The stigma of round life gain is still in my head from 2 years ago when it was unplayable, and they've given it so many tools since then.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot better. Next we have Cling to Dust. This is actually a standard and modern all-star. It's in 453 decks. It's a 0%er, and it costs 44 cents. It's an uncommon. It costs 1 black. Exile a card from a graveyard. If it's a creature, you gain 3 life. If it's not a creature, you draw a card. It's an instant. And it has escape. We escape 5, so you have to escape 5 other cards. And you get to recast it from your graveyard for 3 and a black. This card's really good. And I love that it just gets to cycle when you don't really need it.
It reminds me of Soul Guide Lantern.
Yep.
First one's free. If you ever cast it again, it's gravy, and you only do it when you absolutely need to.
And if you're holding up mana, and this thing is an instant. So if you're holding up mana in a deck that is playing black, this card gets a huge boost because it's going to just stop your opponents from doing specific things. It's going to stop any targeting effect towards the graveyard, and it's just going to make players play so much differently than they might want to. I
mean, the instant speed stuff like this has saved me from losing the game, even when someone casts a big, massive reanimation like Living Death, because if they have like Eternal Witness in their graveyard, you can get it before they Living Death, and now their infinite loop just becomes, okay, I get a lot of value, and you don't lose because of it.
I love the repeatability in this card. If you're turbo milling yourself, I like this card even more. It gets a bigger buff because it's much easier to escape then.
How about if you're turbo milling them, because you can respond to any stupid Eldrazi triggers and get them out of the graveyard?
Yeah, I love, the worst case scenarios is when you want to exile creatures, but usually when you're exiling the creature, it's for the blowout.
It's saving you.
Yeah, it's like they reanimate targeting their big bad thing, and you're just like, okay, now I'll get rid of it. There's gonna be times, it's gonna happen sometime in the future. Mnemonic Deluge is gonna be cast, and this is gonna be the response.
Oh no! And you're gonna be like, tell them the Nitpicking Nerd sent you when you get them.
It's gonna be such a blowout. Like, oh my, it would feel so bad.
GG. Yeah, scoop them up, buddy. Number 9. An Oversold Cemetery, 1378 decks, 1%er, just about $10. 1 and a black for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have 4 or more creatures in your graveyard, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. This requires heavy synergy, and it goes right into that Street Wraith deck we're accidentally brewing.
This card is super sweet, and oh my god, it's so much better than Phyrexian Arena.
I feel like the difference between 2 and 3 is pretty heavy. This isn't like a fantastic busted card or anything, but once your deck is doing this thing, getting a creature back, guaranteed action spell every turn, and then drawing a card is so much better than random card lose a life.
Yeah, and it's it's just so strong. Like, you can cycle through anything, and you get to a lot of the times what you're going to be able to do is you're going to hold your board state up and wait till things come around to you, and then before your upkeep, like on the end of the last position, you'll sack 1 or 2 creatures because you know you get to put one back in your hand, so you're not losing much value.
This is the whole Midnight Reaper, Grim Horospex, Yawgmoth Circus deck, where you're just doing all that kind of nonsense. And then this is amazing. It's just going to be good for you, and it's cheap.
Yeah,
to cast.
I was gonna say it's not cheap. It's
like the most expensive one here.
Is it the most expensive?
Second.
Yes, second most expensive one on this whole list. Which of the more is too good? I mean, Jumpstart stuff's just too expensive.
Yeah, that card could be $5 in 2 months.
That card could be $1.
Who knows if they'll ever print more Jumpstart.
All right, last one.
It's Heartless Summoning from Innistrad. 1 in a black for an enchantment. Your creature spells cost 2 colorless less to cast. Creatures you control get -1/-1. 1200 X, 1%er, $1.50. This is less of a build around than it looks like. You don't have to build your whole deck around this card at all.
You can with Gravecrawler here, where if you have if you have Pitiless Plunder, you can keep playing Gravecrawler and it'll keep dying. You don't need the stack outlet.
Yeah, I mean that is real. This is like a green black-esque graveyard card. I tried this out in a Carador deck for funsies because I like this card. It's insane. There's so many sweet spot 2 and a pip cards where I can play Wood Elves, put it where I actually want it, the graveyard, dies immediately, get my land. I just spent 0 mana to ramp.
Yes.
And then you can cast it from the graveyard for 2 less with stuff like Carador or like Gisa and Drolf.
Yeah. This card is very interesting. There's just a lot of stuff you can do with it. You just need to be sure your deck isn't getting hosed too hard. You can't put it in your X1 tribal
or your token deck. Like it's not gonna help you. You don't want stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe Grismold. I mean, we might have had this one in Grismold. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Or you just want all your tokens to die immediately.
Yeah, you want them to die anyway for Grismold to become a big beefy boy.
Yeah, just watch out for don't play 6 mana 1/1s that don't have an ETB or a dice trigger. But that's pretty rare. Like Sad Robot, that was a standard thing. That was played in standard.
Oh yeah, it only costs 2 mana. Ugh.
Burnished Heart, like there's a lot of these critical weird cards that just go right into these decks.
Oh, Burnished Heart for 1 and then Cracker for 3. Yeah, that feels so much better.
Oh gee. Oh no, but it's not a 2/2 anymore. Ah, no.
The power toughness with the stats I cared about.
I cared so much.
Has
that's the
Burnished
video.
Heart ever attacked in the history of Commander?
Wow, I don't know.
It definitely has, but I'm being hyperbolic. But it never attacked.
I think I usually attack with it the turn I crack it at sorcery speed. You go like, attack? And they're like, block. Second. Gotcha. Video's over.
Yep, video's over.
Pack it up.
Special shout outs to all of our patrons. We love you all as much as we can without making you uncomfortable. You guys are awesome. You're really helping support the channel, and you're helping us really keep this poop going.
Yeah, you know all the shout outs by now. I'm going to recommend the Twitter bracket with the best cards from every set. We're getting around a third of the way done. We're doing probably like 2 a day at this point on weekdays, just to crank them out because, I mean, you don't need a whole day to do one poll. So check it out if you like voting on stuff and having your vote matter. This is the perfect time to get out there and vote specifically in this bracket.
And probably in the election, too. You should do that, too.
I'm not going to tell anybody what to do on that.
You don't have to tell them what to do.
I'm not even going to suggest. I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Oh, well, that's fair. What else?
What else? There's merch.
TCG
player link. There's going to be all 10 of these in the description. Also, we have merch. You can go navigate where you want on TCG player, buy what you want. We get a kickback on the order. Super primo way to help the channel.
Yes. You guys are helping us out every day in a million different ways. Head into the Discord, hang out with us, and tip it about our life.
I don't have anything.
Nothing?
I don't know. Did you have a good Halloween? Halloween's over.
I didn't do anything on Halloween.
Chad went to a Halloween party.
Yep.
He said everybody was in their underwear.
In their underwear?
Doing the WAP dance.
What?
Chad has some crazy parties.
I didn't even.
He tells me about them all the time.
I didn't even hear about that.
Well, that's a tidbit about Joe's boyfriend. I have nothing else.
How was your party yesterday?
It was fine.
You're the one who actually did something yesterday.
It was just a social little get-together, make your own costume type thing.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, I didn't bring it up for a reason. Now they're all like, man, worst tidbit ever.
Yeah, they anything but clothes. They're so wacky.
Woo-hoo! End the video.
Peace out, Trap Scout.